Hello guys and gals, this will be the final reading from this book, Wings of Silver. All these things, this is part 10 by the way, the final chapter, the final episode, what have you. And so we can put that to the side. Anyways, as always, all these were compiled by Joe Petty. Joe is probably short for Joanna. Unless you're talking about anime like JoJo or whatever. And I think that's short for Joseph. I'm not sure though. Anyways, we'll be reading from Temperance. But first, we are going to read this section right here. The selections in the chapters that follow have been gathered over a long period of time. And as in our everyday lives, the Bible is a source and basis for many of our thoughts. And also, in this collection, many of the words of wisdom are choice selections from this precious volume. In addition, there are many profound thoughts that have come from the pens of men and women over the years in different and widely separated parts of the world. While many of the original sources are unknown to the compiler, she nonetheless wishes to acknowledge the authors, whoever they may be. She has gathered a collection containing gems of wisdom, and although she has brought nothing of her own, she has supplied the thread that ties them all together. I'm convinced that Joe is short for Joanna. My cousin's is named Jojo after Joanna. So anyways, we are going to read from a chapter called Temperance. Last time we read from Meekness. But here we go. No man is free who cannot command himself. Fine eloquence consists in saying all that should be, not all that could be said. I always think before I speak. I find this rather balking, for by the time my thinking's done, someone else is talking. Think all you speak, but speak not all you think. Let your speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knows and yet holds his tongue. Brevity is the soul of wit, and even wit is a burden when it talks too long. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life. A good listener is not only popular everywhere, but after a while, he knows something. Okay, we are on page 82. Making sure these pages aren't sticking together. There is more hope for a fool than for a man that is hasty with his words. Silence is one of the great arts of conversation. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. Nothing is opened more by mistake than the mouth. In the multitude of words there wants not sin, but if this refrains his lips is wise. But he that refrains his lips is wise. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and also a broad of the whole body. Let me try that again. The wording in this one is a little bit tricky. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body. Every idle word that men can speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Let not corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Habit is either the best of servants or the worst of masters. Sow an act and you reap a habit. Sow a habit and you reap a character. Sow a character and you reap a destiny. We first make our habits, and then our habits make us. Habits are the first cobwebs, then cables. Even a fool, when he holds his peace, is counted wise, and he that shuts his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. They think too little who talk too much. habits are generally too small, but to be felt until they are too strong to be broken. Habit, if resisted, soon becomes necessity. It is the neglect of timely repair that makes rebuilding necessary. We perform many acts automatically, formed the habit of eating etc. without conscious thought in the moral realm, and so form the habit of living up to our better selves, that this also becomes automatic. When a man has not a good reason for doing a thing, he has one good reason for letting it alone. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walks about seeking who he may devour. Being overly careful about tiny details of virtue can't make up for complete neglect of another duty. Moderation in temper is a virtue. Moderation in principle is a vice. Okay, we are on to page 34 now. We're going to look at this page first. A tree will not only lie as it falls, but it will fall as it leans. Lord, so teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. No gain is so certain as that which proceeds from the economical use of what you already have. If you know how to spend less than you get, you have the philosopher's stone. Prosperity's right hand is industry, and her left hand is frugality. Some people wait and start saving for a rainy day until it starts sprinkling. Thrift is a wonderful thing, and who doesn't wish his ancestors had practiced it more? A man is rich in proportion to the number of things which he can afford to let alone. The safest way to double your money is to fold it over once and put it in your pocket. Economy is in itself a source of great revenue. The saving of money usually means the saving of man. It means cutting off indulgence or avoiding vicious habits. Money is a good servant, but a poor master. A penny saved is as good as a penny earned. Riches are not an end of life, but an instrument of life. He is rich whose income is more than his expenses. He is poor whose expenses exceed his income. What does that man want who has enough? What does that man want who has enough? Leisure for men of business and business for men of leisure would cure many complaints. We always have time enough if we but use it all right. All right. Good luck is a lazy man's estimate of a worker's success. He is already poverty-stricken, whose habits are not thrifty. Gold has been the ruin of many. Waste not, want not. Willful waste makes woeful want. The man who does nothing but wait for his ship to come in has already missed the boat. Luck is a very good word if you put a P before it. That's good. Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Can one go up on hot coals and his feet not be burned? Okay, and now we are to page 86. We only have a few pages left in here. Okay. Hard work is an accumulation of easy things you didn't do when you should have. Make your recreation servant to your business, lest you become a servant to your recreation. Waste of time is the most extravagant and costly of all expenses. Leisure is a beautiful garment, but it will not do for constant wear. The longest way around is the shortest way home. Make haste slowly, haste makes waste. These are all homely proverbs with the same meaning, namely, careful painstaking effort pays in the long run. When angry, count to 10 before you speak. If very angry, count to 100. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. Temper, if ungoverned, governs the whole man. He who can suppress a moment's anger may prevent a day of sorrow. It is not what people eat, but what they digest, that makes them strong. It is not what they gain, but what they save, that makes them rich. It is not what they read, but what they remember, that makes them learn. Regret is an appalling waste of energy. You can't build on it, and it is only good for wallowing in. Commit a sin twice, and it will seem no longer a sin. There are times when nothing a man can say is nearly so powerful as saying nothing. A stitch in time saves 9. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion. The key to a lot of troubles is the one that fits the ignition. Statistics provide folks who drive like crazy are. Statistics prove folks who drive like crazy are. Okay, so the people who drive like crazy are crazy. I get that. He who feasts every day feasts no day. It is never safe to consider individuals in groups, classes, or races. To ascribe virtues or vices to all the individuals of a group, it is as senseless as it is unjust and inaccurate. The ally of tolerance is knowledge. As a rule, understanding of another's nature precludes hostility. This holds good between nations and races as well as between individuals. The excesses of our youth are drafts upon our old age, payable with interest about 30 years after date. Oh, okay, that page just fell right out. I didn't mean to do that. I can fix that. Just going to check A6, A7, A8. Okay. Okay. Folks who never do more than they get paid for seldom get paid for more than they do. Some live without working, and others work without living. He is not poor who has little, but he that desires more. The first step in making a dream come true is to wake up. Thrift is essential to well-ordered living. Wealth is a means to an end and not an end itself. Wealth is a means to an end, but not the end itself. I get it now. He who has little and wants less is richer than he who has much and wants more. A spender's solvency depends more upon his attitude than upon his income. He is richest who is content with the least. He that buys what he does not want will soon want what he cannot buy. Many would never know want had they not first known waste. Choose rather to want less than to have more. Silence is not only golden, sometimes it's just plain yellow. That's a good one. There would not be so many open mouths if there were not so many open ears. Discretion in speech is more than eloquence. Gossip is putting 2 and 2 together and making 5. How many friends would remain if all persons knew what each said of the other? A prudent wife is from the Lord. Every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish plucks it down with her hands. Herein are great rules of life contracted into short sentences that may be easily impressed on the memory and so recur habitually to the mind. And that is page 89, and we are done, I believe. I'm going to have to fix that page. It fell out. We have been reading from Wings of Silver, and we are done with the book. We have finished it. With that being said, I appreciate everyone making it to the end of this video, and I appreciate all the support. If you need any information, all the information will be in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.